Hey family, Pham here, and today we're going to give some quality feedback to the 2K devs team on how they can improve my player creation in NBA 2K16. So if you're just here for the tutorials, you can click the link above and you can see my newest one. So without further delay, let's get to how we can improve my career player creation for 2K16 Pham style. So this is how we're going to do player creation in 2K16. We're going to build players based on talent / skill tree builds. So this is similar to the RPG and MMO kind of style. So shout out to Laker fans 24 at OS. He kind of pitched this idea at the beginning, so he got my brain rolling and I came up with the rest of these builds. So you can check it out. So at the beginning of the game, you will select a player position and a draft position. And each player position and draft position will come with its own specific perks. And perks are either badges, free attribute points you can add to your player, or specific attribute boosts. Your story arc is also dependent on your draft position. And the draft positions that are available are going to be number 1 pick, lottery pick, first round pick, second round pick, and undrafted. So this is also Laker fan 24's idea, not mine. The draft position is his idea with the story arc. Now the player positions are obvious. This is going to be point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, or center. So in this case, the draft position I have selected for the experiment my player is second round pick, and the position I have given him is small forward. So now let's take a look at the draft position first. So if your player is going to be a second round pick, the perks you'll be getting is a Fierce Competitive badge, the Spark Plug badge, and you also get to select one badge between Heart and Soul and Enforcer. You also gain the specialization tree 6-man. So I'll get to that later, the specialization trees. Now let's take a look at the position. This guy is going to be a small forward. So let's just say it's Pham. So Pham is going to be a small forward. And by selecting small forward, I gain the small forward talent tree that I can use later. I also get to select one specialization between the two that are available. I can either be a point forward or a small ball forward. Now here's an interesting part. Every position you select is going to come with a locked in height and weight and also a locked in overall. But these can be changed later depending on what perks you select from your talent trees and your specialization trees. So now let's take a look at specialization and talent trees. So like I said earlier, badges, attribute points, or specific attribute boosts can be gained by selecting certain perks from the trees, and every level your player gains will allow you to select one perk. But there's a level cap, so make sure you select your perks carefully. So now let's take a look at the specialization trees. We'll begin by looking at the 6-man tree specifically. So remember, this is the tree you get if you select the second round pick, and you also get the second round pick story arc. Now, so here's the tree specifically. So by selecting 6-man, you will automatically gain the low ego badge, and from here, from every level you gain, you can select a new perk. So and each perk branches out to other perks. So you can see on one side there's the hustling perk, and on the other there's the Ginobili perk. So let's say if we select the Ginobili perk, you will gain the flashy passive badge and plus 10 steal. So very true to Manu's style. And you will also gain the off the bench score. So in there you get microwave badge, and you also get more offensive consistency. And for comedic purposes, because it's Manu, you also get the fight hair loss badge, and that will give you a swagger badge and also a +5 attribute points that you can add to any attribute you want. Now going to the other side is what makes things more interesting. If you can see, if you have selected the hustling perk, and as you level up, if you decide to select the Tony Allen perk, it gives you a great badge, the perimeter lockdown defender badge, which is huge. But as you can see, there's actually pros and cons of this, because if you select the Tony Allen perk, you'll also lose 10 in shooting. So there's a lot of pros and cons to weight here, which adds to the overall experience and the character building fun. So let's move on to another specialization tree, the point forward. Now remember, when you selected the small forward position, you actually had option of 2 specializations, the point forward or the small ball forward. Now each player are only allowed 2 specializations. So you actually have to choose. You can either become a point forward or you can become a small ball forward. You can't have both. So once again, select your specializations carefully. So now let's take a look at the point forward for the purpose of this video. Now in the point forward tree, if you select it, the perk will allow you to gain the secondary position of becoming a point guard. So that is huge for a lot of people. But because it is such a great perk, it's going to come with a little bit of its negativity. So you're going to lose 5 speed, but at the same time, you will gain +15 offensive awareness. Now, if you look at the other perks, you can select the Pip for Pippin perk, or the Odom perk, so famous point forwards from over time. So if you select the Pip, you will get the 4 general badge and a 5 attribute boost. If you decide to select the Odom, you will get the Tenacious Rebounder badge and 5 attribute points you can spend anywhere you want. So these perks are, specific to the player. So that's, that adds more character to the game. You can say like, I'm an Odom point forward with a little bit of Ginobili 6-man skill. So that's pretty sweet. And there's also other perks that comes with it. So there's a defense perk for Pippin and the passing perk for Odom with its own boosts. Now, but as you can see though, this specialization tree, the point forward, actually only has 5 perks. Now, I specifically did it this way because the 6-man specialization comes with more perks because it doesn't have an advantage as giving, allowing players to become a point guard if they want to. So it's a great acts of, advantage and balances. So if you select something great, you're going to be punished in a small way just to balance things up. So we're not going to have overpowering characters. So this is very true to a lot of RPGs form. So we're going to move on to the talent tree side of things, and we're going to take a look at the small forward talent tree. So you got this one because that is the position we selected for the character. Now, this is really interesting because with the small forward perk, from here you actually get to select one of the 4 options. You can either add height to your player but lose a whole bunch of speed, or add a little bit of height and lose a little bit of speed, or you can lose height and gain a whole bunch of speed, or you can keep the original default 6'7" frame and you actually get 5+ attribute points that you can spend anywhere you want. So this is kind of like a check and balance thing to make sure like you don't have like 6'11" small forwards that are as quick as point guards or something like that. And I believe this is very fair because with here you just get to select which option you want. So you're just going to build your character carefully. There are advantages and disadvantages, so you're going to make up your mind. And secondly, you can see there are also other perks below it. So there is the Bruce Bowen perk. This will give you the corner shooter badge and a plus 3-point shooting. Or the Batum perk, that gives you the transition finisher badge and more attribute points, quickness, and vertical. And there's also more perks underneath them. And also there are going to be 5 other talent trees that I call the others. And these 5 talent trees are going to be shared by every player. So it doesn't matter what position you're playing or what draft position you selected, these 5 talent trees are going to be shared by everyone. So with each of them, they come with their own perks. I mean, I don't have time to do all this, so you can just imagine these are the 5 other trees. So there's going to be the offense tree, the defense tree, the body and the athleticism tree, the work ethic tree, and the born talent tree. So with each of them, there are perks that suits each style, so you can select the ones you want. And remember, you can select all of the perks because there's going to be a level cap. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic idea of it. So in overall, each player will have about 2 specialization and 6 talent trees filled with perks. And all these together will add up to what kind of player you will end up with. And I believe levels should be increased by gaining VC. So for example, level 1 will take 2000 VC and level 2 will take 3500 VC. And most importantly, because of a system like this, I believe 2K should offer us respecs, so you can like mess with all the perks if you want later. So I think the first respec should be free, and then the other respecs you can probably gain by winning specific season awards in MyCareer, or if you win the NBA championship, you also get a free respec, or you can spend like a whole bunch of VC to get a respec. You can purchase a respec. So I'll add more to this as time goes by. So if you guys like this, please add me a like, or if you want it in 2K16, maybe you can send it to the devs team and have them take a look at this. Because I think the current system to build players is just too generic and it's not really fun. Something like this, I think, would be awesome. So let me know what you guys think, and yeah, thanks for coming by. And if you haven't seen my newest tip video, you can click the link there and you can check it out. As always, family, I'll see you next time.